first group is group All In, and I'll let them introduce themselves because they have a slide that does that. So welcome All In.
Thanks, Mr. Beal. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Once again, we wanted to welcome you to Centennial X. We're so glad that you guys took the time out of your busy schedules to come here and speak about what we've been working on for the past 6 weeks. We know it's early in the morning, so we want to wake you guys up, and we figured the best way to do that is with some puzzles. So, show of hands, how many of you guys know what a Rebus puzzle is? Great, that's a lot of you. Okay, well this is an example for those of you that don't know. You can see the word town, and it's written downwards, so the answer to this puzzle would be downtown. Now we're going to let you guys try some on your own. As soon as you know the answer, feel free to shout it out. Good, man overboard. Yeah, good, read between the lines. Nice. This one should be one of the easier ones. You guys can get it? Okay, good, because this one's impossible. That confusion and frustration you just felt doing a straightforward task is just a taste of what it feels like to live with Alzheimer's disease. Welcome to Al's life.
Albert Zachary Heimer is a fictional character we created to help teach people about Alzheimer's disease. He leads a happy and fulfilling life and loves to spend time with his family. The highlights of his days are when his granddaughter, Helen, visits him after school. That is, until he starts to forget things. One day it's what game he and Helen are playing, but eventually it's who Helen is. His family struggles to cope with Al's disease and diagnosis, and eventually it gets so bad that they no longer know what to do.
Al may be fictional, but his plight of living with Alzheimer's disease could not be more real. It is a devastating reality that there are millions of people living just like Al. Alzheimer's disease is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, with around 1 in 3 seniors dying of Alzheimer's or some other form of dementia. At its core, Alzheimer's is a neurodegenerative disease that slowly destroys the brain. Tiny proteins called beta amyloid and tau protein clump up in the brain, forming amyloid plaques and neurofibrillary tangles. The plaques block messages from being sent around the brain, and the tangles destroy neurons. Imagine a traffic accident. Cars can easily swerve around a 2-car fender bender, but when another car and another join the crash, it can lead to a 4-car pileup that shuts down the highway.
As communication in the brain grinds to a halt, afflicted people begin to lose their memory and their ability to think critically. As time goes on, Alzheimer's patients lose more of their brain function and identity. Families are forced to watch their loved ones fade away as Alzheimer's claims another victim.
And that's why we, Team All In, are all in to end Alzheimer's disease. This summer, we were tasked by Eli Lilly Pharmaceuticals and PRA Health Sciences to help create educational content surrounding specific diseases. As Wissahickon High School students, we gladly took that challenge and made a 5-day educational kit to promote the understanding of Alzheimer's disease and raise clinical trial awareness. The kit that we created blends a story, interactives, and reinforcements to help accomplish that goal.
We hope to establish a deep emotional connection between our students and Al to help them empathize with the disease. This connection means nothing, however, without an understanding of why the disease occurs. That is why we have daily interactive activities to accompany Al's emotionally compelling story.
For example, when Al starts to get sick, kids will learn about neurons and take a deeper look inside the brain. They'll use a marble track to model how the brain sends messages through neurons to your muscles. In our model, the bridges represent neurons, the connectors are synapses, and the marbles represent the brain signals. It starts out pretty simple, with the kids having full freedom over what to build. In this case, you can see the kids chose to use 4 neurons to help brain's messages flow through the system. Then, the teacher introduces Alzheimer's disease. She will replace one of the synapses with this plaque, preventing messages from flowing through the system. As in your brain, the kids have to build around this blockage using the remaining neuron pieces. Eventually, though, they'll run out of parts to add to their setup, simulating how your brain can only do so much to combat Alzheimer's.
And that is just one of the 5 lessons that we have included in our kit. And if you come to our booth, or the slide changes, you can see the others. After each one of these wonderful interactive activities, we have reinforcement activities to help kids remember what they've learned about Alzheimer's disease. We've targeted the varying types of intelligences and multiple different types of learners you can find in any classroom. For example, one of our activities gives students the option to write a reaction to what they've learned that day. That same worksheet allows them to do math problems related to that same topic. Because all too often in schools, science activities are reinforced with science activities. And for kids who aren't interested in science, it's not appealing and it's not helpful. So we decided instead to reinforce science activities with other content areas like art, writing, or math.
We decided to target elementary school students because they will be the ones to shape the future of our society, and one of them may one day revolutionize the medical field. Hopefully, our kit will foster a love for learning, spread awareness about clinical trials, and inspire the next generation to find the ultimate cure to Alzheimer's disease. Our kit isn't just limited to elementary schools, though. We hope to spread awareness to parents, the community, and beyond.
Because kids can't sign up for clinical trials for Alzheimer's disease. They're too young. It's not how it works. So how does our kit help people like Al? By sparking a conversation. At the end of the 5 lessons, or whenever a kid wins an activity, they'll receive a wristband that says, "I'm all in to stop Alzheimer's disease," and then when you turn it, clinicaltrials.gov. And then when the kids come home from school that day, their parents will ask them,
Hey, where'd you get that?
and the kids will have a great opportunity to share everything they've learned about clinical trials and Alzheimer's disease. And the parents might tell their friends, who will tell their friends, who will tell their friends, and get the whole community invested in finding that ultimate cure for Alzheimer's disease. And you too can help spread that awareness by stopping by our booth and checking out and getting one of your very own wristbands.
And the educational value of our kit is not just limited to the classroom. Each of the 5 parts of our activity are capable of standing on their own. For example, our story can be used in a doctor's office or assisted living facility, or can even be given to a child after a loved one is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. In creating our kit, we spoke with the Alzheimer's Association and learned that there are not enough resources to teach people about Alzheimer's disease. Society needs to better understand the disease and stop viewing it as a regular part of growing old. Without public support, families plagued by Alzheimer's disease cannot get the funding and support they desperately need, and those afflicted with Alzheimer's disease cannot get adequate access to care.
In our story, Al and his daughter decide not to tell Helen about Al's diagnosis because they don't know how to explain it to her. When the secret does come out, it ends up hurting Helen a lot more than it needed to, had she been well informed. No more of that.
No more leaving youths in the dark about what's happening to their family members.
Enough with silencing Alzheimer's disease.
We are done accepting Alzheimer's as a regular part of growing old. Throughout the duration of our presentation, 9 more people in the U.S. alone were diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. It needs to stop.
We are all in to end Alzheimer's disease.
Are you? Thank you.
Now you want to make sure you turn your microphones off, right? That was pretty impressive, right? Our next group is Team Jade, and Team Jade